My mother had this saying, better out than in. And she was usually saying it as she was giving me a tablespoon of that nasty cod liver oil. And she would say, we have to get rid of the pests and the pus and the infection, and down my gullet would be this stuff that was hard to swallow. People have been asking me recently, over the course of the last few days, how are you feeling, Mercedes? I've been out a little bit. And I say, I'm feeling optimistic. And they kind of look at me a little strangely. And I think maybe even thinking, oh, I didn't know she was on that side. But I see this as a time of revelation. And I see this as a time of better out than in. Blessings, 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 blessings be unto you. This is Mercedes Warrick, and welcome to Sacredqi. In America right now, it would seem that we are in a time of people inciting and encouraging and nurturing fear, separation, divisiveness, anger, overwhelm, unbelief, betrayal. It's all on the surface. And there's so much of it, we could get into a state of overwhelm. And that dumping, that the sheer volume of what is happening right now is by human design. We're going to give them so many battles to fight that they won't know which one to fight. So they may not even fight at all. Right? And if you're wondering about how you're going to make it through all of the insecurities, food insecurities, identity insecurity, environmental insecurity, financial insecurity, housing insecurity, and we can be lulled into the complacency of thinking that the status quo or the way it was okay, when in fact some adjustment would have been nurturing to society as a whole, to you and me in our daily living, to the price of eggs maybe, or the how much gas we can put in our car at the gas pump, what's happening. This one's close to my heart, what's happening between me and my doctor, conversations that we're having, and what's available medically. I can tell you that is a whole maze in and of itself. So there is a real life and living insecurity that can occur. But here's the fallacy. Here is the fallacy. And it hasn't changed. Okay? The fallacy is that there are institutions or people in special positions that allows us to be in our power through the design of our lives, when in fact there is a constant that we came in with that is a force of nature, a force of life, a force of love, a force of liberty, a force of light that is innate within us. And so what is happening right now is we see storm clouds where there is blue sky. Because there is a force within us. And so this time of revelation, this time of the this bringing to the surface to come out, better out than in. It is a time of revelation. It is a time of divine inspiration. It is a time that we get to be in our most innate, quintessential essence of who and how we commune and collaborate and co-create with each other and I'm going to say this, as divinely human, and with our source that is divinely quintessential. Better out than in. It allows us to look at those things that are stirring within us, that create a separation from our fellow neighbor and from our relatives and from humanity. We are going to be affected. It is the nature of what is happening. It's how we choose to be affected. And we have the force. May the force be with you. We have the force of life force, right? And in that life force, there is co-creation. When we interact with each other, it is co-creation. So I want to go through maybe a series of, my guidance sometimes calls them spiritual cliches, because we don't sit with it in a deeper, more meaningful way. We just sort of, what I think about, I bring about. The power in that? The power of writing down the life force, writing down the life force, and then speaking the life into existence. What I think about, I bring about. The power of your tradition that you infuse into your heart? 5 to 7 words. 5 to 7 words. That's it. That's the prayer. It becomes a prayer. The prayer becomes a blessing. The blessing becomes energy. The energy becomes realized. The realization becomes actualized in how we live and interact, and then we materialize it into something that is divinely inspired. It's not a reaction to humanity. It is an inspired, it is an inspiration designed by the divine. Peace and chaos cannot coexist. You can be in chaos in this moment and be in peace in this moment, but the two of them cannot coexist. And so when we get that divine inspiration and it washes us with that peace that is indescribable to another human being, it is just there and it just exists. It's like there's a storm and there's blue sky above the storm that we can't see. Those clouds, we can't, there's cloud cover, but above the cloud cover is blue sky. And then there is the subtle frequencies of knowing and coming into a collaboration and allowing those who have the inspired, I'm going to say, I don't want to use the word gift, but the inspired skill to be the storm chaser and to know what to do in those storms. And then yours may be the one that comes up with the wisdom key. And another one is the blessings, and they come up with the resources. And so it's so important right now that we interact and combine and know and inspire. Don't let the emotion of the moment detach you from the feeling of the divine and the knowing of the divine, even though we are in a space of unknown, that we know the divine so innately, so deeply, that the unknown becomes known because we know we're walking in that space. God is present in everything. So, what's happening in this hellhole right now, So, how is there God here? I learned this through cancer. There is a lesson here. There is a blessing here. There is wisdom here beyond my knowing, beyond me. And as I move through this and I choose to put myself in the divine through the anchor, talk about that in a minute, through the anchor, then I just rest there. And I have to be there with such a tenacity. I call the spiritual audacity. I have to be in those 5 to 7 word prayer, the simple prayer. I have to be there in a way that is just unshakable. And that is a calling. There's a difference between being in a calling and just thinking and reacting, and I think I should go in this way. But when we stop, pause, listen, and then move, what is the calling of this moment? And when guidance was talking to me about this, it was so interesting because you put too much of a big thing on a purpose and a calling and all this stuff. It's little things. It's like, what is my calling for the day? What is my purpose for the day? What is my purpose in this moment? Something crazy is happening over there and you're looking at it. What is my purpose? What is my calling? What am I to do in this moment? Where's the love in the situation? Where's the God in the situation? How can I be liberated from the feeling of fear that I'm experiencing in this moment? And unless we have that divine anchor inside of us, the cod liver oil, the times that we've sat down in prayer or sat down in meditation or, really wanted to go, I don't know, to the party, but you ended up in your sister group in prayer and meditation. Better out than in. What is being revealed are revelations for us to be in our divine, or to be in our divine self, to be in our divinity. Better out than in. It is a revelation. And every time you see something that is unjust, inhumane, surprising, not from the heart, but from the head, better out than in. Thank you for this revelation. Better out than in. Thank you for showing me the absolute truth in this matter. Because the truth, is spiritual, but the knowing is divine. Thank you. I may not know these steps. I may be scared. I have one of my post-it notes here says, I'm going to read it. You have the strength beyond your understanding and the courage beyond your means. When we're in our divine self, when we're in our divinity. Now let's talk about that anchor. So I was brought up in Canada, the Anglican faith, basically. And so what we have here is my mother gave me the Lord's Prayer and the 23rd Psalm. And there are lines within there, those two prayers, that will satisfy almost any situation that you will be in. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And my anchor that has not changed for years is I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Reveal to me what I am seeing, the wisdom, the truth, the way, the knowing in this situation. I am that I am, and I will just sit there. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. We all got a little piece. Every tradition got a little piece of the holiness, of the sacredness, of the divinity. And we can step into this, and we can sit in the eye of the hurricane and know that God is present here. It may not look like it, it may not feel like it, it may not, it may be one of the scariest things that you've ever seen in your life. But the I am that I am, your anchor, whatever it is, you have strength beyond your understanding and courage beyond your means. I have strength beyond my understanding and courage beyond my means. I am that I am. Thank you for this revelation. Guide me, show me, teach me, hold me. It's not a time to be shouting from the rooftops. You know, the next spiritual cliche is what we resist persists. That's just wrong. I'm not going to stand for that. That is wrong. It's not how I want. It's not how I want my life to be. It's not how I want this world to be. Let me be the love, the light, the compassion, the grace, the mercy that I want to see in this world. I am that I am. I am that I am. Find your anchor. Plant it in the ground so that it may dive deep down into the center core and anchor you in what you know your faith, your knowing, your God, your divinity to be. And be thankful for these revelations. And there will be suffering, and there will be things that are happening that we are going to feel. We have, I don't want to say it that way. We may think that we do not have the power, and that our power is being taken away from us. And this moment that I'm talking about may seem a little too, esoteric, or there will be real suffering. There is real fear. I think that we are human. We have the ability to put into collective consciousness words like emotions and frequencies. I said words, but I want to say emotions and frequency, like optimism, hope, love, compassion, mercy. The constant here is the divine, the absolute source. you're being allowed to feel it very deeply right now. We can see the humanity and the spark of the divine within each of us. And let that be so. I've gotten very touchy-feely lately. You know, I just want to hold somebody's hand and maybe not say too much. Just let them know that I'm there. What we resist persists, but what we know flows. Your anchor is the key right now to being in the knowing, to be in the unknown in a way that is known. Find your anchor. Pray, eat, sleep, drink, be, partner, exchange, hold each other. Hold thy neighbor. And know that it's better out than in. May you know the divine intimately. Namaste.